Hello. Whoa. I'm doing a Plan B stream tonight. My PC is struggling a bit, so I thought I'd just do one on my phone. See how we go. It needs a bit of a rest, I think. When it starts going wrong, it will go wrong for a few like a day or so, and then it will come good again. But hope you're all well. Paul Hotspur Hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. And I can see I've lost all my viewers, but oh well, there we go. That's life, eh? So the news today, I'll just repeat myself. Harry Kane has said that if he plays against Brentford, then he's going to be with us for the year, which is pretty cool. You know what? Let's psychedelic it up a bit in here. You know what? I can't have the fancy background, but I can have fancy colours. There we go. There we go. That's a bit more in keeping with this channel. So Harry Kane has said that he will stay if Brentford if he's playing against Brentford, which what way are you looking at it, folks? What way are you looking at it? Are you looking at it as if that's putting pressure on Bayern Munich, or is it putting pressure on Tottenham to get their house in order and give Ange Postecoglou the tools that he needs to do the job? That's the question. Now, in other news I just saw, well, I'll get on to the other bit of news that's been out and about, and that's hang on, let's just change this light a bit. It's a bit fast, that, isn't it? Hang on. Oh, let's have it a bit slower. Give me a headache. Oh, whoa. Ah, no, stop. Oh, all right. What's that going to do? Color cycling? Yeah, maybe that's cool. Oh, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Oh, well, that'll do. That'll do. All right, bit of just mucking around with this light I've got. So the other news: Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are teaming up with Tottenham Hotspur. So back in my day, it was enough that a kid would be interested in football, and you know what? Oh, this is weird, eh? This light. There we go. It was good enough for a kid to be interested in football, and that was it. Now we have to have gimmicks for short attention span little kids, unfortunately. So it'd be, Mummy, can I have the kit that Donatello wears instead of can I have the kit that Steve Perryman or Gary Mabbott wears? How times have changed, folks. How times have changed, eh? And I've just seen hot off the press that Galatasaray are making a move for Tanguy Ndombele. So he might be out the door. We're going to cut our losses and say goodbye, our big little friend. Thanks for your service and taking our wages, but it looks like you're going to be going off somewhere. So I think that's a good move, isn't it? It's a good move. We'll see what you lot think in the chat in a second, because I ain't got much more news for you, I'm afraid. And I think it just goes to show, because when Ange was asked about Tanguy, he sort of said, "Oh yeah, he's a good player and all that." And Ange isn't a person to publicly disparage any player, which I think is a good thing. He's not saying, "Oh, we're trying to get him out the door" and all that. The nearest I've heard him come to disparaging our current squad of players is when he was asked about centre backs. When he was asked about centre backs, he said, "Yeah, we want to buy at least one," which means two. Remember, that's two. That's not just one. That's two. At least one is two or more. Two or more. Bonanza, a defender bonanza. Well, when's it going to happen? Well, according to Fabrizio Romano, things are still in the works. Things are still in the works. We're still in with a look in on both. Excuse me, both Van der Ven and Tapsoba. So who knows what's going to happen then? But we ain't got much time before we're playing Brentford. It'd be nice to have had him in before playing Shakhtar or Barcelona. Barcelona, that's going to be a pretty good game. I'm looking forward to that one. Anyway, thanks. There's a few people in here. Thank you very much, folks. I'm going to go over the comments now. There's not a lot happening here. I had all sorts of technical trouble. My PC just it goes through fits and starts, man. When it don't want to work, it just don't want to work. But who we got in here? Total Hotspurs. G'day, man. Nice to see you. Big up Hotspur Hippie. And Shamu van der Ven. More activity in Paul's lights than in the transfer window as of late. I know, man. It's a shame, eh? It's a shame. Now, remember Super Chat. Oh, I can't point up there because I'm not on the computer. Super Chats and membership is available. And our latest member of the Hotspur Hippie commune is Lemmy. So thanks, Lemmy. Thanks for joining. Has anyone else got any news? Because it's Slim Pickens. Try to send you an email. It didn't work. Oh, maybe I've put the wrong email address in there. I'll check it out. Thanks, Shamu. Yeah, I didn't think anyone would want to send me an email, but oh well. What else is going on in Tottenham? I'll tell you what, I talked about it in a video earlier today. News is Shamu said pizza for dinner. Nice one. I'm gonna have chevups tonight. Chevapi. I'm gonna have chevups and veggies because they're nice and cheap and nutrition. I think they taste better than sausages. I mentioned it in a video earlier today, but I saw a really cool little video on I think the channel's name is 1991 Spurs C or 1991 C Spurs. He's a guy or person that puts up little clips of Tottenham quite often, and he just put one up, and it was it's about 7 minutes, 7-minute video of Tottenham's preparations for the 1967 FA Cup final, their Cockney Cup final, where we smashed Chelsea. Speaking of which, I hear old what's his name, Rory? Is it Jennings? Is it Jennings? The Chelsea? Is it Rory Jennings? Been besmirching the good name of Tottenham, saying, "Oh, we only think it's a good club because our granddad remembers us doing the double." Well, Rory, you talentless twat. Chelsea was only good when you had dirty Russian oligarch money, wasn't it? It was crap before. How many trophies had you won before Abramovich came in? I did a quick count. I might be wrong on this, but I reckon it was 4, mate. It was 4. So while we were dominating England and Europe, you lot were doing nothing, mate. And we beat you in 1967 to boot. So don't come up to our doorstep and say, "Oh, we're the weirdo fans." Now that your dirty oil money, the illegal money, found it to be illegal by something or other. Now that that's all gone, where is Chelsea now? Well, you're owned by Todd Bleeding Bowley, a rich American who doesn't know anything about football. And you're going to have an even worse year than you did last year, mate, because you've got a manager, Pochettino, who doesn't want to be there. And none of you Chelsea lot want him there either because he's a Tottenham person. And we know how Chelsea people feel about Tottenham. You know, you like to think over in Chelsea land that it's a derby with Tottenham. Tottenham fans don't give a toss. We don't give a toss about playing Chelsea. We've got a proper derby with Wally's off FC down the road. Your derby, mate. Your derby is with Fulham. It's with QPR, not with us. You like to look up and we want to play Tottenham. It's a big rivalry. No, it ain't. It's nothing of the sort, mate. Nothing of the sort. The only reason we're rivals with you is because a lot of your fans are a bit on the nose as far as we're concerned. Maybe some of the newer ones, not so much, but the history of Chelsea is dark indeed, my friend. Now, Shamu's been typing some comments here, so let's have a look here. I'll just hang around for a bit just in case other people turn up. Shamu van der Vu. Rory also said Haaland would flop in the Oh, my Lord. Yeah, you remember that one, man? That was a classic, wasn't it? I mean, anyone that had seen the guy play thought, oh, God. The only reason I thought Haaland might not make it in the Premier League would be if he got injured. Really, that was about it. He's I don't know. He's he's one of these new wave of pretty boy fans that just like, whereas you need a bit of a beard on you, bit of baldness, anything else happening? So the 1967 FA Cup final preparations video, really interesting little watch actually. old black and white movie. It's got a bit of their training exercise. They're doing this weird rugby throwing thing, and they're flying around all over the place. Bit of an interview with Dave Mackay, and even a few words from the coach. I forgot, Billy Elliott. It's not Billy Elliott, John Elliott. And a few words from the godfather of Tottenham, Bill Nicholson himself, who was asked to compare the 1967 side against the 61 side, and he didn't pull any punches. He didn't pull any punches, as neither did Dave Mackay. Dave Mackay said, "Well, we haven't won anything in this team yet, have we? So we've got to win something." And they sure did. They sure did. Here we go. There's another one here. G'day Legacy 11. Big up from Adelaide. Nice to have you around, mate. Welcome to the happy Hotspur hippie commune, the only psychedelic show on the internet, psychedelic soccer show on the internet. Shamu Van der Vu. Lucas Moura signed a contract to Sao Paulo. Oh yeah, I did. I saw that one as well, but I forgot about it. Thanks, because I can't look at things when I'm doing this on my phone. When I'm streaming on the PC, I use my phone as a keyboard and mouse and a microphone now. So, but I saw that. That's a nice story, isn't it? It's only till December, but I think it's pretty cool when players go back to their hometown for their the twilight of the careers, I guess. Which is why I think I was a bit surprised Ronaldo went off to Saudi Arabia instead of just going back home to Portugal and playing. Really, you would have figured if you've got like a $1 billion in the bank, do you need much more money? I don't know. You can't even spend the interest on the interest of that, can you? But once you're on the materialistic money train, there's no stopping it, really, is there? Shamu Van der Vu, yeah, man. I think it's good for him to catch up with family and friends. Yeah, I think it's really nice, really nice. I wonder if Messi will end up back in Argentina, although he hasn't been there since he was a kid, has he? So, what other players have gone back home? Teddy Sheringham came back to Tottenham. So did Robbie Keane. Maybe will Harry Kane go away and come back again? Who knows? I think he's staying. I think we'd be mad to sell him. It's funny how on one hand people are saying, "Oh, we should be behaving like a big club," and then immediately saying, "Yeah, sell Harry Kane, one of the best players in the world." It doesn't make sense to me. I don't care about the money. I'm selfish. I want to see the best players possible wearing a Tottenham Hotspur t-shirt. That's it. Playing for us. I'm not an accountant. We're the 9th richest club in Europe, apparently. So we shouldn't be needing the money. And I think with Madison around, I think Harry Kane could score 40 goals this year, 30, 40 goals. He's a better player than Haaland. I think Haaland is a better clinical finisher, but Harry Kane is a better all-round footballer, he's got a bit more of a football brain at the moment. I mean, that's, Haaland's a lot younger, so he's going to get there in the end. Van der Ven is in the top 20 fastest players recorded in the world. Yeah, man. I think we've all seen that clip on YouTube. Need to get him for Ange's style because he needs fast centre back. You might be trying to say there. Yeah. We certainly don't have that at the moment, man. Do we? Are you a new follower? Have you come over to Spurs because you're following Ange through the years, or have you been indoctrinated by a parent or something like that? Because that's what happens with a lot of people. Shamu Van der Vu, sick of seeing Harry Kane news on Twitter. Rather us sees progressing on centre backs. The defence at the moment will struggle for top 8. Yeah, I think we're going to score more goals because we're going to be pointing that way up the pitch, which is good. But how many are we going to let in? How many are we going to let in if we haven't got everyone behind the ball? We'll probably let a few more in. I'm hoping that differential and the fact that Ange Postecoglou is a much better coach than we've had for the last few years. I mean, we've had managers. I don't think we've really had coaches, so to speak. I think even the way we are, I like to be hopeful, man. I like to be hopeful. Oh, speaking of Conte, so Legacy says I follow Tottenham because of Conte. He's a top coach, but I'm staying for Big Ange. Oh well, thank you. I was very excited when Conte came in, man. I was excited when he came in. You know, proven winner and all that. Bit of a winner mentality, but kind of left me with a bitter taste in my mouth in the end, really. Especially the manner in which he left. You know, it was really after the World Cup. It was apparent, and I know, you know, he wasn't backed and all that, but I think if you're professional, you behave a bit better in the job. After the World Cup, it seemed pretty apparent that he didn't really want to be at Spurs anymore, and in every press conference he was basically saying sack me, until that last press conference where he had his spray, and not that he said anything that was incorrect. I think he was right, man. I think he was right, but I don't think it's quite right for a manager to say that. Or if you're going to say that, then I think it's the onus is to perhaps resign instead of kind of not resigning and waiting to be sacked or an agreement to be made. No, Levy didn't give him the players he needed. That's right. That's for sure. I'm more, even though Ange, as you say, is not getting them at the moment, I'm more hopeful that we will get closer because Ange isn't a big spender. Ange's recruitment is really top notch. So I'm hoping that despite our owners being absolute clowns and not doing right by manager after manager, that you know what, I'll just tone it down a bit, eh? Oh, God, that's bright, man. Oh, there we go. I think we've got more chance of success with Ange Postecoglou than Conte. I think Ange Postecoglou is just a better coach, a better manager, really, better manager. Shamu, oh, you guys are keeping me going here. Thanks, folks. Shamu Vandervoo, need to be hopeful with Dyer, Sanchez, and Tanganga. Davies beside Romero. It's hard to be hopeful, isn't it, man? It is. Need to start praying and hope the other attackers put 2 left boots in. I know. Oh, same old story at the back, isn't it? Hey, it's Welsh Girl. Here we go. Hey, Welsh Girl, a member of the Hotspur hippie commune. Big up, Paul. Have a day off today. Oh, you have a day off. Greetings to you and the commune. Greetings, man. Welsh Gal is a member of the commune. Super chats and membership is available. But yeah, I'm still hopeful. You know, I still think we're going to be playing better football. It's going to be a bit dicey at the back, of course, but you know, they're the players we got. They're the players we got at the moment, rightly or wrongly. And my main frustration was the last few years was the style of football we played. It wasn't just the results, because there were many times we got results, but it was just so hard to watch that football. It's just not Tottenham football, really, not football at all. Oh, Wolf Mueller, here we go, another member of the commune. God, we're all gathering in today. We have to start leaping over a fire or something like that. Wolf Mueller, cheers all. Thought you might be on. Yeah, I'm struggling a bit because my PC is a bit wobbly at the moment, so I'm doing Plan B, and the time will be limited because I've got 18% left on my phone, so it's not going to be a long stream tonight. But there's not a lot happening unless you're a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle freak, of course. Then you're probably happy. It was quite odd seeing them in Spurs shirts, wasn't it? It's I don't know, man. I think the world's gone crazy, isn't it? Legacy 11, I agree. Ange is a better manager and plays great attacking football. Last 2 games we conceded 4 goals from 5 shots on target. I know, man. That's the. I mean, it was basically 5 attacks, let alone 5 shots, man. It was interesting. We were in. It's hard to gauge though, isn't it? I mean, West Ham obviously were trying to park the bus, and the Singapore team were kind of doing the same as well, really. But yeah, the especially one of the West Ham goals, which was a real defensive error by Davinson Sanchez. Hopefully, he might be off to Nottingham Forest, all being well. So we might have 2 players going out the door. We need another 9 to go out the door, possibly more than that if we buy some players in. So you know, you remember back a few months ago when there was going to be this massive rebuild at Tottenham, a massive rebuild. No stone will be left unturned to bring success back to the club. And it's the same as last year, a bit of a flurry at the beginning of the window. And it got me excited, that's for sure, with Maddison coming in and Vicario. And Solomon looks like it's turning out to be a nice surprise. Nice to see he can play on the right as well as the left. But then nothing. And we got rid of Winks, which is great. And then nothing. Shmoo van der Ven. I keep calling you Shmoo van der Ven, man. Ah, dear, oh dear. Budala. Wasn't too excited for anything by pre-season, to be honest. No, didn't get your boat floated. Nothing to read into. Well, you know, I read into it that we're going to be at least charging up the pitch again. But you know, I take your point. The opposition wasn't amazing, was it? Well, I'll make this a little warmer. There we go, a little warmer, a little less stark. Nuno won all his pre-season games, and look how that went. Yeah, I can't even remember them, actually. I can't even remember them. Maybe Ange can sprinkle some secret Aussie dust into our team. Well, you know, he's got plenty of that. He'll be sprinkling a bit of tomato sauce about the place as well. Bring back tomato sauce. He's just good, like Legacy 11 says, he's a good man manager. And, you know, when you've got a good man manager and you get an extra couple of percent out of the players, it makes a big difference. Makes a big difference. Oh, Wolf Mueller, full moon tonight, is it? Oh. Or does that mean you maul the wolves? You're not the wolf yourself. You're the person that goes out. You're like a Van Helsing of the werewolf world, the lycanthropy world. Shmoo van der Ven was your idea, but I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Legacy 11, be good to see how Ange has the boys going when they play Barcelona. That's a measuring stick. Not half it is. Not half. I mean, if we haven't bought any defenders, not that I ever want us to lose, and I don't, but if we lost 10-0 or 10-8 or 10-5, something like that, maybe the penny would finally drop with the powers that be that own this club at the moment, the stewards. Looks like there's a lot of protest activity gathering against the owners at the moment. The Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust is saying that they're going to protest about ticket prices at the I think it's the Man United game. They're going to come out. Enough is enough. I'm not sure it's going to. I don't know. What I think it will achieve is if it unites the fans, that's good for a bit of good feeling about the place, and it will get. I think there's more chance of everyone getting behind Ange and the boys then, so that's a good thing. But whether it will be enough for Levy and Enoch to backtrack on ticket prices, that's a big call, man. I think we're selling out games. If we're selling out games, doesn't matter if the money's coming out of your wallet or mine or some rich guy from South Kensington, does it? It's all money in the bank in the end of it. Oh no, lol, right. It's an anglicised anglicised version of Wolfgang Mueller. A Bavarian ancestor with a cool name. That's not a bad name, is it? You could be a footballer with that name, man. Sounds like a World Cup winner. World Cup winner. Although I have to say, no, I'll say it anyway. Remember, Germany's only one World Cup, one World Cup, the same as England, because the others were won by West Germany, which doesn't exist anymore. No one else looks at it in that way apart from me. Is there a secret commune? This is Welsh gal. Is there a secret Hotspur hippie commune members handshake. I trust Ange, and hoping he can get a tune out of the players. I hope Brian Hill stays. I don't know about a secret handshake, man. I'm not into organisation. If you want to do one yourself, that's fine. I mean, it'd be something around a peace sign, maybe. Oh, well, it's a bit like scissoring, isn't it? But I don't know. I don't know. I hope Ange. I hope he can get a tune out of the players. Yeah, I think he will. I think it's showing already, man. I think it's showing already. That's the kind of guy he is, and I think we're going to start seeing players leave with a bit of luck. And Don Bele rumours going around, which is good, cutting our losses. Brian Hill. Now, what I thought when he walked into training, he looked a bit bulkier, but when I mentioned that in a video earlier today, I think someone left a comment saying he's wearing a padded shirt or his shirt was too big for him. But I thought, I thought he had a bit of cojones about him. I don't know what he's having surgery for an injury, isn't he? But I don't know what injury that is. But yeah, I hope whether he's got a future with us or not, I hope he does well. I know that there's a few Spurs fans. I know Dave Harris, Irish Hotspurs, big on old Brian Hill. So if he hangs around and starts putting his feet in the right places on the pitch, that's at least one person that would be happy. I mean, I quite like the cut of his jib. He seems, I like his attitude, and that's half the battle, isn't it? Half the battle. Wolf Mueller. I'd love for Jill. God, look at me talking about anglicised, my Anglo tongue. I'd love for Hill to work out too. Yeah. I mean, if it works out, it gives us options, doesn't it? It's no bad thing. Whether he will or not, I'm not sure. I don't really pay much truck to the whole he's too small or he needs to bulk up. What he needs to do, I mean, that's one option he's got, but the other option is to work out a way where his size works to his advantage. There's plenty of small players going around. It's no barrier to playing good football. My favourite Tottenham player of all time, Ozzy Ardiles, was a shorter fellow, and he was one of the world's best midfielders in his day. He was an engine room for Argentina's World Cup winning side and also us. So can't complain about that. I had a good dream actually featuring Ozzy Ardiles last night. So I dreamt that I was at this function. And it was to watch a video or a movie about the '82 FA Cup final. And lo and behold, I sat right next to on the same table as Ozzy Ardiles, and it was a lot of fun. I woke up like near the end of the dream, and I thought, oh wow, it's a nice dream for a change, because the old head, the old box of ducks. Legacy 11, Pape Sarr is going to machine. I'm with you here 100%, man. I really like the look of Pape Sarr. I think he's fantastic. He's running all over the place. He's got a great touch, and he's not afraid of having a shot. They haven't got in yet. He had a couple of stabs against West Ham, but and I think the other thing in the two pre-season friendlies is there was a lot of shots going off, and I think a lot of players are trying to stake their claim in the team, and maybe just overdoing it a little bit, being a little bit over eager. Maybe as when we're playing Shakhtar, maybe those two teams in each half, maybe that will settle down. Maybe Ange will start playing players for longer than a half, and maybe that will just calm them down a bit. But Pape Sarr, man, he's only 22, and he's achieved a lot. He's been on the big stage, man. He's played at a World Cup. He's won an African Cup. Is it Senegal? I think it's Senegal. So he's performed at the highest level already. So that age is very deceiving. I think that may have dissuaded, or I don't know why he didn't get played more last year, where Conte seemed to persevere with Ollie Skip and Pierre and Højbjerg in a two-man midfield. does my head in, that man. 2-man midfield. Can you believe it? 2-man midfield. I think Sarah's a better player than Ollie Skip by quite a long way as well. I think there's daylight there. Welsh Gal, people need to leave Hill alone. Luka Modric is small there. Well, there's another one, isn't there? I mean, I'm sure you could have might be a thing to think about. I probably don't know enough players, but like a world beating 11 of players that are under, what should we call it? 5'10", 5 foot, 5'10", 5'10", or 5'9", 5'9", under 5'9". I don't. Hang on, I can't look things up. However tall Ozzy Ardiles is, or Luka Modric, whoever the taller of those two is, that's what we'll take as the benchmark, and we'll go. I reckon maybe goalkeeper might be a struggle, but then Pat Jennings was only 6 foot. Can you believe it? Pat Jennings, 6 foot, and he looked like a giant in the goal. So we maybe have a 6 foot cut off for goalkeeper, and that would be Pat Jennings. Easy. Welsh Gal, yeah, I love Ozzy, one of my favourites. I used to love watching him play. And I remember when I was a little boy, and it's been a while since I've said this story, so I'm not sort of retread old ground. But it's my earliest fairly clear football memory of watching a match on TV was Arsenal losing the '78 FA Cup against Ipswich, and then straight after that was the Argentina World Cup, and England wasn't in it, of course, but I remember the two names I remember hearing all the time when Argentina played was Mario Kempes and Ozzy Ardiles, Osvaldo Ardiles. It just stuck in my brain, and then a couple of weeks later, it just seemed like straight away that we signed them. Keith Birkinshaw flew over on a plane, made an offer to Ozzy, and Ozzy said, "I'll come over if my mate can come over, Ricky Villiers." And Keith Birkinshaw said, "Yeah, no worries." Oh, them were the days. Them were the days when football was cool, eh? Where you could just do stuff like that, you know. Oh, turn the light off, press the wrong button. There we go. Oops. Dear, oh dear. So a bit of colour happening again. Keeps me occupied. There we go. And so I love seeing Ozzy play, and it felt like in the early '80s that Tottenham were on TV quite a lot because we had good cup runs and whatnot. But then the Falklands War happened, and I was really quite sad about that because maybe I've always been a hippie all my life. I'm not into war and all that, and unfortunately Ricky left, and so did Ozzy for a bit. But when I started going to watch Spurs matches in '84, '85, Ozzy was back, and I was just so happy to see him play for a couple of years. He was a fantastic player. He's a terrier on the pitch, man. Terrier. He's a perfect player. Ben Kaufman, Teenage Mutant Ninja, Tottenham, mate. No transfers. There we go. Well, you know what? I'll give you a couple of points more than the because I haven't heard that one before. I've just seen, the standard joke of, they are new centre backs, which is a bit obvious, really. But credit to you for coming up with that one. Tottenham make no transfers. That's quite funny, actually. Oh dear. Legacy 11. I was hoping to see some of Angie's Asian transfers like Hyogo. Yeah. Maybe he's done a bit of a gentleman's agreement with. It's a bit distracting, that, isn't it? That's there we go. Let's leave it like that for a bit. I think maybe he might have had a gentleman's agreement with Celtic. I'll tell you who I'd take from Celtic, and that would be Cameron Carter-Vickers. More than any other player there at the moment. Kyogo's signed a new 3-year contract, I think, with Celtic, so he's not going anywhere soon. And the crowd love him. He seems very happy there, so that's cool. Hopefully, once we sell some of the deadwood, I'm sure he knows a few that will cut it in the Prem. Oh, for sure, man. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Angie's football knowledge is, well, you'd know this, but I'll tell the rest of the internet nutters. Angie's football knowledge is absolutely second to none. It's unbelievable. It's crazy how much he knows. It made me really quite happy when during his press conference, when he first press conference as Tottenham manager, and a member of the Fleet Street Meathead gallery asked him, "Oh, any Tottenham players in the past tickle your fancy?" And I think, to be honest, the journalist was trying to trip him up, because I saw that happen when he moved to Celtic. A couple of journalists asked him some questions, and he just answered them, put them right back in their place. So it was really, and I had a hunch. I did predict this. There is a video on either Irish Hotspur or it might be on THFC Till I Die, where someone asked me, what can we expect from Angie's first conference? And I said he's going to mention the 81 FA Cup final all day long, because growing up in Australia back then, that was the big game of the year. The only, one of the few chances you had to see football. I mean, he had a bit of Bundesliga on as well, I believe. But so it was a fond childhood memory for Ange to stay up late one night with his old man watching Ricky Villa, still Ricky Villa. Oh, great tackle there by Graham Roberts. Tony Galvin has two to his right, but Galvin wants to go on his own. Villa, still Ricky Villa. What an amazing run. What a fantastic goal. Good old John Motson. So, yeah, getting rid of the Deadwood. Time's running out for that. I mean, we're going to have a few people playing in the under-23s or sitting on the bench at this rate. Scott, I think the amount of players they took over to Asia, it was, I think it was 36 players, wasn't it? There's a lot of players. So we've got to get rid of at least 11 without buying anyone in. If we buy another 2 players, we've got to get rid of 13 players somewhere along the line, which, here's me criticising Chelsea for their bloated squad. Well, we've done the same, eh? Oh, yes, man. Yeah, Legacy 11, yes. Loved it when Ange put Alan Brazil's words back in his mouth after he smashed it at Celtic. Wasn't that great to see? Yeah. I mean, and I liked Ange's response. I think he said that, Alan Brazil is just there to do a job. But then Ange, when he was going for the treble with Celtic, he did make a point of saying, look, people thought I was a joke. And maybe Alan Brazil would have been one of those people he was referring to. I quite like Alan Brazil, though, because he's one of ours, isn't he? Played for us for a bit. I think he's a bit of a goofball. I don't mind him at all, actually. But Ange at Celtic, that was when I wanted to see him come over to Spurs. It was the style of football, it was the success, but more than anything, it was the atmosphere, it was the togetherness that you could just feel from everyone at Celtic, all behind Ange and the team, and we weren't having that same experience at good old Tottenham Hotspur, and that's why I wanted Ange to come over here. So it was good. Well, you know what? I think I might call it a night for a little stream here tonight. Thanks for popping along. Hopefully, I'll be along tomorrow morning. Hopefully, if my PC has a rest, I'll be able to do a proper stream. But this is plan B. But thanks for joining, everyone. Thanks for... hang on, I can do the video, can't I? I forgot. Hang on. Bear with me. I'm on a phone and I've got big thumbs. There we go. All right then, folks. Okay, here we go. So I'll see you around in about, I don't know, 11 or 12 hours, probably 6 a.m., something like that. So until then, I'll just say peace and love, man, and go on you Spurs.